So when it comes to food sensitivities, we eat something and then we have some type of reaction. And that reaction can vary greatly from person to person. Anything from a runny nose to, hey, I got an extra foot growing out of my neck. Man, I am really not going to eat that again. But we're not talking about food allergies here that someone might be born with, like a peanut allergy that can be life-threatening. Usually food sensitivity issues, the symptoms are not so severe, and it seems to be something that a person can develop over time. So let's say you've determined that, hey, I seem to have a food sensitivity to eggplant and gluten and Lou Diamond Phillips and the board game Parcheesi. Whatever it is for you, if you're dealing with issues where a food seems to be creating a reaction for you, it's important to understand how that happens because there's steps you can take to avoid it. Let's jump in.
T.C. Hale is not a doctor and does not claim to be a doctor or licensed in any type of medical field. Don't be an idiot and use anything heard on the show as medical advice. This information should be used for educational purposes only, and you should contact your doctor for any medical advice. Now get off me.
So to understand how a food sensitivity can develop, we first need to understand how digestion is supposed to work. So when we eat food, our stomach makes hydrochloric acid, or HCl, and this helps us start to break that food down so that the body can use the nutrients in that food. So once the food is acidified correctly, it moves out of the stomach into the duodenum, or the first 10 inches of the small intestine, and that's when the gallbladder drops alkaline bile down onto this acid product that left the stomach. So when two opposite pHs, like an acid from a stomach and this alkaline bile, when they collide, it creates this sizzle. It's almost like a little explosion. And this sizzle is what your body is living off of. This is what helps us really bust that food apart, pull all the nutrients out of that food, and make sure that it's broken down into elemental nutrients that your body can use. So it breaks it down into vitamins and minerals and amino acids and fats. And when those nutrients get into the bloodstream, the body's like, oh yeah, here's amino acids. I was looking for that. I can use that. But for a wide variety of reasons, some people are not making enough stomach acid to break their food down properly. So that side of digestion may not be working correctly. And for a wide variety of reasons, a lot of people's bile becomes too thick and sticky to flow correctly. So the bile may not be coming down to neutralize the acids that leave the stomach. In either case, if there's a malfunction on either side, we don't get that sizzle that really helps us bust that food apart and break the food down into elemental nutrients. So if we eat a salami sandwich and we don't break that down, and I'm not saying that you should eat a salami sandwich, it's just really fun to say salami sandwich. You could even try it now. Just try saying out loud salami sandwich and then let me know in the comments how you like that. See, this is like an interactive channel here. But if you eat this salami sandwich and it doesn't get broken down into elemental nutrients, then it still has its own identity. So if this identity of a salami sandwich makes it into the bloodstream, it says, hey, I'm a salami sandwich. And the body doesn't know what a salami sandwich is. So it doesn't view it as nutrients, it doesn't view it as fuel that it can use, it views it as an invader, and it goes to war against a salami sandwich. So a lot of times, the reaction that you're having, whatever that reaction is just a response to the body going to war against a food that it's viewing as an invader. Now what's worse is that when the body sees this an invader, like, hey, I'm going to take a record, I'm going to make a full report of this and keep this in our records so that next time I see you, we'll know to come down on you even harder. So as you eat this food again and again, the reaction can get worse and worse over time. Now, the first problem that has to exist is an inability to break a food down properly. So it's usually a digestive malfunction, either that lack of stomach acid or a lack of bile flow, that's going to create the initial problem. Now, there are factors with enzymes that can be a problem for some folks. For example, some people will have an aversion to lactose because they don't have enough of the lactase enzyme. So they could then supplement with this lactase enzyme and give their body what it needs to help break down that type of food a little bit better, and then they can improve that issue for them. But for most people, it seems to be an issue of an inability to really break that food down. So that's the first problem that can happen. Next, these food sensitivity issues seem to develop a little bit easier when there's a leaky gut type issue going on. And you may have heard of, oh, I got leaky gut, I've got cheeseburgers all over the inside of me. And what's really going on there is that something has created tiny holes in the intestinal lining that really shouldn't be there. And it seems to be that the most common cause of this is some type of mold, yeast, or fungal type of overgrowth in the intestinal tract. These seem to be the guys that are best at kind of boring holes through the intestinal lining. So it's really common for someone to have a bacterial overgrowth either in their stomach or their small intestine, and maybe that's what we call SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. But when someone has a bacterial overgrowth, it's also really common to see some type of yeast, fungal, or mold type issue along with it, because the environment is set up for them to thrive when there's this other invader already there that set up camp. The big problem is that it's a lack of stomach acid that often allows these invaders to get in the first place. The stomach acid is like our knight in disgusting armor. It's the barrier to the whole body, because when these varmints come in our food, the acid fries them in this acid bath and it wipes them out. And you may be thinking, well, I don't really have those kind of microbes. I don't wipe my food on the ground as I'm eating it. But these microbes are on our food. It's really hard to avoid it. They're coming into our system. So when that stomach acid barrier is not functioning correctly, they come in, they set up camp, they have a party, they raise their kids, and they go to college, all in your intestinal tract or your stomach, because that barrier wasn't there to keep them out. Now, a lot of people will take all these steps that they hear about to improve a food sensitivity issue, but they don't do anything to fix the digestive malfunctions. You got to fix the problem so that you can shut the door so that these varmints can't come in, but also so that you can break your food down correctly. So if you're having any type of digestive symptoms, we have a totally free 4-week online digestion course that'll walk you through figuring out, are there digestive malfunctions that are going on? And if so, what steps do you need to take to improve that? So we'll put the link to that totally free course in the description below. And we're also going to put a link to our video for how to improve these food sensitivity issues, because there's specific steps that really need to be taken if you want to improve this issue and allow you to go back to enjoying some of these foods. That how to correct food sensitivities video will also help you understand how to figure out which foods are creating problems for you, because a lot of these food sensitivity tests that are out there seem to be very flawed in one way or another. So we'll help you figure out how to do this on your own. So we'll put the link to that video along with the link to our totally free digestion course in the description below. For now, watch our video on understanding digestive troubles, so if you're dealing with any digestive symptoms, it'll help you understand steps you can take to start to improve those now. I can't wait to hear about your results.